gentlemen, welcome back. This is Chimera Elite, and today we're looking at one of the rare undead games that I choose to play or just upload. And this is I think this is something like an 8v10, and this is probably like I just hopped on, decided to play the undead, and I'm like, hey, maybe I could get one of the smaller maps because just in general I like more melee-oriented armies, and I get this map. Now, the fun thing about this map is that if you have good target priority, and you're aware of what things need to die now, like you pick and choose exactly what needs to die. Say, main priority is either the gargoyle, the necromancers, or at least my hero. Like, those are your target priorities. And on this map, it's so big and there's so much shit in the way, and there are so many bottlenecks, especially for the lion, that just they have so much time to just rain down hell on you. And this is a guy who's playing Cillian. He has a very, very little unit variation. He has, I think, maybe one Brood of the Lion, but mostly he just has the base tier 1 swordsman, and he's going the front line, back line thing, and that's really easy on this map also, especially with Cillian. And he has, I think, he has like 5 swordsmen and 4 bowmen. That's counting Cillian. So his range potential is huge, and my range potential is limited to the one Master Necromancer that I have. Yeah, that's literally it. I might actually switch out the I believe it's the tier 2 Necromancer for more skeletons, because at least on this map, he was not much of a use. Maybe it was just the fact that I was up against the lion, and that, especially on this map where everyone is so spread out, healing isn't as big, at least with the undead, because the guy was just easily picked off time after time. And the second thing that I keep forgetting is that, at least on this map, is that Cillian has Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye makes it so cover doesn't matter. And if this guy knew which map he was going to be going on, he picked the absolute best unit composition for this map, and it's insane. But he could have done better. If you look where he is right now, he has decent view of the battlefield. Not great. It could be so much better. And a simple way of doing that would be to take a turn and kind of do what I do, and instead of poking my units down slowly, he can move those 3 archers, Cillian and the other 2 archers in the back, and just have them move up to where this statue is, and move like behind that statue, and like back. And from there you have pretty much an unobstructed view of where my entire forces are going to be coming from. Because that's the thing about this map. There are, at least if you're all the way in the back, there are 2 ways in and 2 ways out. If you're playing defensively like this guy, you're set. Because if you can literally just bottleneck me, and I don't have the damage potential, at least until Melmoth or my gargoyle actually make it up to the front lines, and that's going to be a little while. Not so much with the gargoyle, I can never pronounce that, but even then, he can quickly and easily deal with them before they even get there. That's what makes the lion so special, is that sure, they might not have the strongest melee units, but give them time, give them that opportunity, and they are very, very much able to just come in, and by the time you get to them, you're going to be hurting. Now, I got lucky in choosing, or rather, I got lucky in the week's choosing of Melmoth, because if I was using the Flesh Golem, I would not have been able to do as well as I did in this game. Now, this is simply because of one simple little thing. Well, not simple, it's the biggest thing about Melmoth. Agony. Now, what Agony does is it gives him 100% lifesteal and 10%, an extra 10% to kill outright. Now, you guys know I absolutely hate the ability to kill things outright. They've made it better, but I still don't like it. So typically I just kind of ignore that and just go, okay, I get 100% lifesteal. If I get a kill outright, then whoop-de-freaking do, I get a kill outright. Whatever helps. And because of that Agony, he is constantly able to rejuvenate himself. He could be down to 25 health. He hits one of these guys, and none of them are tough enough to really actually defend themselves against him. So he just hits them, gets back 19 health, he's critted for higher than that, and he's back up to 39 or 40 health. He's back up to just perfectly healthy and able to just defend himself. And considering who I'm typically gunning for, which is the his highest damage dealers, aka Cillian and the other archers, they have shit parry. It's the only way to put it. They have terrible parry. She has, well, not terrible, but she has a parry of 10. I have an accuracy of 15. I'm near guaranteed to hit her every single time I take a swing. And that makes it for a very, very lucrative, just all-out assault on her. Because another thing that Melmoth has is this cute little ability called Sequence. And Sequence is amazing against especially Cillian because she doesn't riposte. He uses Sequence. He is allowed to attack twice. He gets a penalty to accuracy and parry for both of those attacks. And he's pretty much weakened in the sense of accuracy, for defense for the remainder of the turn. But typically I make him go last, so it doesn't really matter. Also, when you're going up against Cillian, if your parry is lowered, it doesn't matter. Your parry could be 0, and it wouldn't matter if you're going up against Cillian because she simply doesn't hit you with anything. All that matters against her is your dodge, and the thing with Melmoth is his toughness is high enough, so even if she does shoot me, she's only dealing about 10 damage, and the other archers are dealing about 5. That's huge. That is huge in just determining the success of my army against his. And I slowly, because I've played the round before, I kind of know what they're about, just from playing, who knows, 200 plus games at this point. And I've won about half of those games. And I know what the Lion are about, I know what the Undead are about, I know even more about what the Wolfen are about. And because I know at least a decent amount about the mechanics of the game, going in, I'm like, okay, I have a few units left, and I need to distract some units. Whoever they are, whatever they're doing, I need to distract them to get them off Melmoth. Okay, I'm gonna run up, I'm gonna engage these archers. These archers have no choice. They can either attack me at a huge penalty or try to walk away, in which case they're probably gonna get hit. Now, what's happening right now is nothing at all like that. I'm still trying to position my army and get myself into a spot where I can actually start hitting back instead of just taking it. And I have forgotten one funny little thing. I said I knew about the RAM, but even then, I haven't played that much of them. I totally forgot that they already put in contingencies to prevent people from, I guess, abusing the fact that the RAM can just summon up skeletons wherever they want. In other words, the undead, the summoned skeletons, cannot capture points, which is good. Because if I could, then that would be kind of silly. I just have this really, really, pretty much useless unit that doesn't really matter that much. He's disposable. Just have him sit here, getting me elixir points, and I can worry about everyone else and have the full force of my army just brought to bear. Now that also brings up another big thing, and that is elixir points. Elixir points are the lifeblood of a lot of my armies. Not so much with the flesh golem or freaking Ryscar. Like with Ryscar, I only need maybe 1 or 2 elixir points. Throughout this game, I think I get a total of 5, which is actually a lot for me. And I get 5 because I prioritize, okay, I need elixir points. Why do I need elixir points? I need elixir points because, 1, it distracts this guy all the way on the left who's not doing anything. And 2, because of agony. And this guy's lack of elixir points actually saves me the game, in my opinion at least. And because his elixir ability is called, this funny little thing, it's called Fire at Will. And it gives whatever unit you use it on, except for heroes obviously, because that'd just be overpowered, it gives them an extra attack. Now if he had done that, that probably would have changed the tide of the battle very, very much. But because I have a skeleton just constantly on that point, on that control point, I don't need to worry about him getting really any elixir points at all. Because I have my unit just sitting there, not doing much of anything. He's going to move into attack position next turn, but for now, I'm perfectly fine and satisfied where he is. Now this guy uses defensive stance, he gets a kill outright. Alright, cool, I'm fine with that. I get a nice riposte for 10, moving on. What wins me this game is agony. Just flat out, it's agony. That 100% lifesteal is so huge that because of... I think it's kind of funny looking at the different heroes of the different armies. And you might say that one army is quote-unquote stronger than the other army. But they might be unbalanced if it's just army versus army. And you could call it unbalanced or something like that. But when you look at the heroes totally change the balance and how each of your armies play. Now what I mean by that is that looking at the undead, at least with the army that I'm running right now, most of my units are pretty darn weak. I've got skeletons, I've got necromancers, I've got a gargoyle, all of whom are pretty squishy. You know, skeletons can kind of hold their own, but the necromancers and the gargoyle have toughnesses of 6 and below. The skeletons are cheap, and that's why they're there. They're for fodder. It's kind of almost like Ryscar in that he, it's not so much with the Wolfen, but the undead rely on the skeletons to set up kills and weaken the enemy units through numbers. What the Wolfen do is something similar, and the entire army is essentially setting up kills for the rest of the army. It's not so much with the lion, because the lion is more about teamwork as a whole. I'm not saying the Wolfen aren't, but if you look at the lion army, they're not so much setting kills for each other as keeping the enemy at bay while their archers just rain down fiery hell and just constantly just whittle you down constantly over and over and over and over the turns. And by the time you even get to their army, if they're spread out enough, you can literally go for one archer, and that archer can pretty much just ignore that archer and that guy who's engaged, and go for the other guy who was unfortunate enough to be in that position. Essentially, you've got archers that are spread out enough, so if you engage one, you can't engage the others, and that one unit that you sent up to engage that one archer is crushed. Wherein that other archer can just say, okay, I don't like you, boom, dead. It's all about setting things up. It's all about setting your teammates up. And that's what I think is so interesting about this game, because, and in the future especially, we have vampires, we have chaos dwarves, we have all these new, really interesting armies and heroes that we can only guess what they're all about. We can only guess what is so important about their army, and it's really interesting to me, or rather it's going to be really interesting to me, what they're going to be all about. Because you can kind of tell, just look at it. The Lion are all about the front line and the back line. The Wolfen are all about rushing down. The Undead are all about numbers and setting up that kill and just taking fire off of your heroes. And being able to do that is huge. And just being able to look at all of that is also huge. Now, yeah, I admit, I'm not the best player. But kind of looking at here, just looking at the battlefield right now, I've got my guys way in the back. I am doing something wrong. Just putting it 100% simply, I am not playing, or at least I'm not using all of my units to the best of their ability. But in a way, I'm glad I didn't. Because look, I have this morbid puppet all the way in the back, just kind of waddling around, doing his thing. And yeah, he's not really doing much or anything. He grabbed an elixir orb for me, which is fantastic. And okay, I'll take that. But later on, you'll see that those rotting bastards, they do some really, really good work for me later on. Here I'm just trying to just shit out anything that could work. A little healing would work well. Doesn't work out well. It is what it is. And here, you know, putrefaction. Nope, doesn't work either. Incantation failed. Things aren't really going that well for me. I mean, admittedly, I've still got my hero. He just got it back up to full health, but I am down to, at this point, I just lost a unit. I'm gonna lose another unit the next turn, and my options are getting very, very limited. This guy he's down to 8 units. I am down to 7, soon to be 6. And the units that he does have, the majority of them are decently healthy. And the guy on the right is in a shit spot, but even then, he can still be perfectly fine. He's doing what I'm trying to do with all my units and Melmoth. He's taking fire away. There's that skeleton who's down. Morbid puppet, just get up and get somewhere. Now from here, I've got my War Gargoyle, and he's just kind of doing his thing, and I have this one last guy, and I'm like, do I want to move him? No. Even if I can't get elixir points, I want to deny him his fire at will, because that's just a damage I don't want him getting. And at this point, he decides, you know what, fuck it. Give him the elixir point, because he wants to try to get all of his units just brought to bear. He should have been doing that from the beginning. But it is what it is. What's done is done. And yeah, that's kind of what's going on right now. I've got my elixir point. Fantastic. I've got 2 elixir points this turn. And soon, Cillian is going to be in a very shitty situation. Scattering. I got lucky there. I got really lucky there. I've got my Master Necromancer just in the back. I'm like, huh, there are a lot of undead around here. Let's have some fun with this. I'm like, 4 hexagons. Got 1 skeleton, 2 skeleton, 3 skeletons. Let's blow this fucker up. Wave of Death, 5 mana. Hits for 19. Almost bring that guy to his knees. And just doing a fantastic job in changing this whole battle. And it's at this point that I realize that I might have done a little bit wrong in grabbing this war gargoyle. Because he's savage. And when you're savage, you cannot receive any orders, which is another nice little balance thing that they did. Because, you know, if he had been able to get orders, he would have been able to heal for another 20 health. I'm glad he didn't, though, because, you know, it would be kind of silly. I should have, however, just moved him just straight south and just hit that guy and killed him and just be done with him. I'm lucky again, scattering, you know, all that great stuff. I'm thinking, do I want to just run up and try to attack? I think, you know, maybe that could be a good idea. Who's my objective? Cillian. Can they kill me in 1 turn? I seriously doubt it. Does he have any elixir points? Nope, no more extra damage for you. Also, he has used almost all of his orders. All he has left is Divine Favor. That is it. That is 100% it. Now, you know, just sticking with the same priorities. I need elixir points to keep Melmoth alive. He's in the middle of the enemy, and he has agony every single turn. Use it because you've got it. Agony is lifesteal. Agony is life. If I didn't use agony, and if I hadn't been constantly just getting elixir points this entire game, I would have lost. And even now, it's not looking good for me. I am quite a few points behind. He still has more units than I do. And all of his units, for the most part, are in better shape. But just quickly look, and you'll see no one wants to attack Melmoth. No one but the ranged units. Because Melmoth has a decent parry. So he parries you. All you did was get your dumbass in some more trouble. Because Melmoth doesn't like you, he's just going to slap you to death. Because he hits hard. He hits really hard. And now you can finally see that unfortunate swordsman on the left who's finally moving up through the center. And he's finally becoming engaged with something other than just him and his lonesome. He's finally doing something to get me annoyed. And even then, sure, he's able to take out a few guys, but I go first. Guess what? I am... do I want to attack you? No. Let's look around. I have counterattack. Let's use counterattack. I'm like, do I want to kill you? I'm like, maybe I do. Oh, wait a second. Look who's in range. Cillian. I don't care how much damage I take. I've got agony. Hit me 5. Hit me for 5. Oh no. Agony. 100% lifesteal. I get something around 19 to 20 health back per hit. And there's a slight glitch that teleports him back to where he was. Doesn't matter. Cillian still takes damage. Cillian's gonna die. I'm back up to full health. Cillian is not going to hit her next double shot, which is always... It always irks me how people always do that. Why would you use double shot when you're in a position where you need all the damage to matter? You don't use double shot when you have that many penalties on you. And here is the whole thing about the distractions and the skeletons that I was talking about. I'm like, who is the most danger to Melmoth right now? The ranged guys. Alright then, surround them. Just run up, just sit there, just do your thing. And I'm not even bothering using defensive stance because the dudes have one parry. And he's only lightly wounded. Not really sure why he used Divine Favor on that, but it is what it is. And hey look, another skeleton's moving on up. Distractions. That's the name of the game with these guys. They're not gonna hit anything. That's not their job. Their job is solely to kill things. So scratch that. Melmoth's sole job is to kill things. The little skeletons, their job is to distract things from killing Melmoth before he's ready. And my constant just acquisition of freaking elixir points allows Melmoth to just keep on chugging along. He doesn't even need a healer. I need to take that healer out and throw in more skeletons. Because the healer costs around 44 AP. Now, 44 AP, who can I get for that? I can get, I think, a base tier 1 skeleton. And I can also get a slightly more powerful skeleton. I'm like, hey, this could really work to my favor. But I think I might actually keep the skeleton healer in the off chance that I get paired up against an Arrhenius. Because that cheeky bastard really freaking hurts. And he doesn't get damaged very easily, and I need him to die as quickly as possible. He's the ultimate frontline. And if Melmoth gets tied up with him, that's a big no-no. He made the good decision by sniping the my Master Necromancer. Great decision on his part. But somebody's gonna die. Sequence. I get -4 accuracy, -4 parry. It doesn't matter against Cillian because she's gonna die. Dead. I'm still at full health. Who is next? And yes, I am very lucky. Thank you. But next is this guy. Boom. 19 damage. You move, you're gonna get hit again. You move, you are in for a world of hurt. Now what he's trying to do right now is whittle me down. What I'm trying to do to him right now is the opposite. I'm trying to just survive. Agony is my lifeblood. Just putting it as simply as I can. And I have Life Leech, doesn't do me any good because archers just rain down hell. That's their thing. And Melmoth is so far behind the enemy lines, it's not even funny. What's funny is that he's still alive, he's still near full health, and what this guy's trying to do is actually very smart. He is trying to distance himself from Melmoth because he knows if I can deal damage to him, I'm getting health back for 3 more turns. Possibly. He's not engaging me in melee combat because that's just giving me what I want. And he's just running for his life right now. Which I think is hilarious. Because if you look, right now the score in the elixir points, I am leading with 3 elixir points to his 0. And at this point, the number of actual points that I have 35 points. As long as I constantly just keep this going, he cannot win because sequence 19, dead. 38 damage, 1 turn, dead. I'm just gonna take cover and hide behind here because I can't actually make it to the next side with the pursuit movement, so I'm just gonna hide and just take cover because I need to keep my points as high as possible. He has 4 units, 2 of whom are very nearly in one-shot kill range, and Melmoth, guess what? My points are directly... They're a direct reflection of Melmoth's health. And guess what? My points are gonna keep going up as long as I can hit you. I'm just gonna sprint out, engage both you all fuckers, and wait. I'm just gonna sit here, turtle up, and do what I can. I'm down to 20 health. Oh no! This is where things get tense, because Melmoth is not within range to really hit anybody. He has to run for his life. He's actually seriously injured. But guess what? I still have my hero. I still have agony. I still have elixir points. I'm perfectly freaking fine. And what he really should have done is have that other guy run up and do what he, he needs all the help he can get. But I guess what he was trying to do was elixir points. It's turn 8 at this point. Sure, he might be able to tie me in elixir points, but in order to kill me, he needs to get rid of Melmoth, and that's just not going to happen. None of his guys have double shot. None of his guys have the ability to deal any more damage. He can use incapacitating shaft on me. Whoop-de-doo. It's not going to slow me down all that much. Right now we're tied in points. It's turn 8. This game has already gone on for upwards of 30 minutes. This guy gets hit for 18. He's not doing much of anything. He should have just tried to hit me. He's down to 17 points. He's not dealing any more damage to me. If he runs, he's getting his points to drop down even further. He's down to 4 units, 2 of whom are within one-shot kill potential range. That's not something you want. I still have Melmoth. It will take him at least 2 turns to kill me, assuming all of his attacks hit. But guess what? This dude's in range. It's almost turn 9. What do you think's gonna happen then, What do you think's gonna happen? I've got 3 elixir points. I've got agony. I've got sequence. Oh my lord. You don't want to be anywhere near my Melmoth. And guess what? He stayed within Melmoth's range. He shouldn't have worried about trying to keep his units alive. What he should have been trying to do is hit Melmoth as hard as possible. When you leave Melmoth for last and you give me the opportunity to get elixir points, you're also giving me the opportunity to live. You're giving Melmoth the opportunity to live through the entire game and keep his health up for the entire game. The lowest this guy got me was 15 health. Next turn, I'm right back up where I started at 39 health. And it's turn 9. 39 health on Melmoth equals 39 points. He has 4 units. He's down to 10 points. He is not winning this. At first, I was thinking, okay, because I wasn't really paying attention to what turn it was. I was just playing and trying to do my best with what I got, which is Melmoth. And suddenly, I look up, and it's turn 10. I'm ahead in points. I'm ahead in elixir points. And I'm like, I might still have a chance of winning this, because I'm so used to simply being, like, actually having to kill an entire army to win, that my brain is just constantly wired like that. I need to kill everything in sight. Why? It's just kind of how I've been doing things. And here I'm like, am I really gonna have to kill? Am I really gonna have to run all these motherfuckers down while they just poke at me constantly? I'm like, I guess so. If I go first next turn, this fucker's dead, or at least very close to it. But then, 22 seconds, 21 seconds, 19 seconds, we're running down the clock here. He can't kill me in 1 turn. Cillian couldn't kill me in 1 turn. Most she could do was 10 damage. He should have focused down Melmoth from the beginning, and now he's paying for it. We're down to 30 seconds on the clock. and I'm still ahead. Melmoth is at full health. I still have more elixir points. He can try to hurt me. Not gonna do him any good. And guess what? I win. This is one of the few battles that have actually gone for the full duration. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you on the flip side. Peace.